What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of That Hobby Show, and we are back at full strength this week. Houston is back. What's going on, buddy?
Not a whole lot, man. Good to be back. No things I didn't forget I had to do this
Yeah.
Sunday. Yeah.
So I see your beanie, and I guess the congratulations are in order. Cam has come back and saved the Panthers.
I don't know. I wouldn't say saved. Um, I was on the fence for him about him for 6 or 7 years, and I'm still on the fence about him. He kind of brought up a little bit of excitement back to Carolina, which is good. And I'm still on the fence, kind of 50-50 about him. I don't love him, but I don't hate him either. So he 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 seemed to have a chip on his shoulder and seemed to show that he had something to prove today. So hope it continues for another 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I mean it's not like they beat a bad team either. It's not like they beat up on the Jaguars or somebody. I mean, I don't Uh, I don't know how legit the Cardinals are, but everybody here in Arizona, is like Super Bowl or bust. But yeah, I mean they beat a good team, so yeah. And then what was it? The Steelers tied today, so that's good. Helps out my Ravens. The Browns lost. They got destroyed by the Patriots, so that was pretty awesome. So yeah, it was a good week to be a Ravens fan.
Yeah, Mac Jones was dealing today.
Yeah, he might. It's crazy though. He might be the guy to invest in the trading card world. Invest. He's Mac Jones going to the moon. So
Mac Jones to the moon. Yeah.
yeah. So yesterday was a pretty big day for you too, or I guess night. AEW pay per view, right?
Yeah, it was a huge night. There was a lot of hype around it. Most wrestling fans know that back in the '90s, WCW had a pay per view every month. I think WWE did too. I didn't get into them until a little later, once WCW was like pretty much like going downhill. But um, never bought one. Never tried to get my parents to buy one because obviously at 10 years old I wasn't slinging $40 a month or anything. But the one I got last night, that was the first wrestling pay per view I'd ever bought. It was absolutely like worth the $50 I paid for it. Absolutely worth every penny of it.
Yeah, I don't get to watch it too much, but I read the reviews on Twitter, and it seems like everybody was in agreement that every pay per view that they've put on, they actually keep getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I definitely, especially with AEW, because I know WWE now does one pay per view a month, and at one pay per view a month, it's like how exclusive is it really? But AEW only does four pay per views a year, so when they do one, or when they do have one, you actually feel like you're watching something. You actually feel like you're getting something, and it's it was 4 hours long. It was started at 8, didn't go out till midnight, and there was no like 6 minute promos in between matches or anything like that. It was just like match one was over, match two was over, match three, and it was just absolutely stacked.
Yeah. What was your, I guess, your highlights of the pay per view?
My highlight was I wasn't sure if Hangman Adam Page was going to win the championship because um Brian Danielson won the bracket they were doing for the number one contenders for the title, and Brian Danielson and Kenny Omega had some heat before, so I was like, the entire world wants Hangman Adam Page to win this, but I feel like for story purposes, for to kind of round out and finish out the Kenny Omega and Brian Danielson thing, I don't think he's gonna win, but Hangman Adam Page won, which in itself rounded out a 3 year storyline, and that's pretty like epic considering this is something that's been 3 years in the making, and they finally rounded it out in such a way that they did. And then probably that was the highlight. The low light was probably the CM Punk and Eddie Kingston match, in my opinion, didn't really live up to the hype that they were given it the last week or 2 weeks. So that's my highlights, my low lights.
Yeah, yeah, nice. Well, for me, I had a busy weekend. If hopefully people that are that watch the channel follow my Twitter page, Charm City Graphs. I got to go to the Nitro Rallycross this weekend. It was in. They say it's Phoenix, but kind of like how they say the NASCAR race is in Phoenix, which it isn't. That's in Avondale, Arizona. This race was in Chandler, Arizona, and it was pretty awesome. Travis Pastrana created a brand new, I guess you'd call it a racing circuit, calls it Nitro Rallycross. What Rallycross is like, it's dirt track racing. Well, his Rallycross is all dirt. Most of the tracks are half dirt, half asphalt or tarmac, depending on where you're from. But this was all dirt. It was I was on the fence, debating on whether or not to go because they didn't sell single day tickets. They were the 2-day passes, which kind of sucks because you're like, man, I don't want to spend $40 on a 2-day pass if I can't go both days. Like why not make it $20 a day or something?
Yeah,
But
definitely.
lo and behold, I was checking my email and I got a free code for tickets. So I was like, all right, let's. So I wasn't sure about the re-entry policy or the bag policy, stuff like that. So I was like, all right, I can get up to 6 free tickets. So I requested 6 tickets because if anybody's followed the previous shows, I got a full size Kyle Busch replica helmet, and that's like carrying that on my back is like having like I'm a Ninja Turtle. I have a turtle shell on my back, and the crazy thing is the way it worked out was Kyle Busch was going to be there, so that was my mission, was to get that helmet signed, and I actually was able to get Kyle Busch to sign it. Kyle signed some cards as well. Yeah, so it turned out really good. I got all the autographs I wanted, and the crazy.
Did you go mainly for the autographs, or you wanted to check out the racing as well?
No, it was both, because with the way Rallycross is, they don't have a huge field. It's not like NASCAR where it's, what is it, 38 cars. There's usually only like 15, maybe 16 cars, and the races are super short because of the beating that the cars take, because they have jumps. They have I think this race had one tabletop jump and 200-foot gaps that they were jumping. So the cool thing is they'll be coming around the turn and they go through the jump, and then there's cars jumping over top of them. So that's pretty sweet. But
Yeah.
there's plenty of time to be able to go get autographs in between all the heat races and everything, because they have to, after every race, they do track maintenance with it being a dirt track. And the only bad thing about this racetrack is it's really close to the interstate here, I-10. And because of the proximity to the interstate, they have to constantly water the track to keep the dust down, or else they're going to cause a wreck on the interstate, because that part of the interstate is like notoriously horrible for traffic and everything. So a lot of the drivers were complaining about how slippery the track and everything was. But I'm hoping they come back next year, because with this track, they used to have the trophy trucks would race there every year, and guys like Jeremy McGrath, Brian Deegan, they would all race in that series. But then I think that series actually folded, so they were able to turn this track into a rallycross track where they cut down half the fence and they actually went outside the stadium and would come back in. But yeah, it was awesome. I was able to get everything, like I said, get everything signed I wanted. I've had Travis Pastrana NASCAR cards for 8 years that I've been trying to get signed. So knocked all those out, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. It the thing that was kind of crazy to me though was I maybe seen like 15 Kyle Busch shirts, and that was it. Like people didn't care about Kyle Busch or NASCAR, and it blew my mind because one, NASCAR isn't as popular as I thought it was, and B, Kyle Busch isn't as popular as I thought he was. Like because they'd been advertising, Kyle Busch being there for ever since he said he was going to do it, and I don't really think he drew any extra people. But I mean, he was cool though. He was typical Kyle Busch. He's I would
That
say
was my next question. Yeah, because I've heard he's like very 50-50.
yeah, he's the best way to describe him is he's a famous person that does not want to be famous. He just wants to race cars and be left alone, honestly. And so he wasn't standoffish or anything. So I was able to get the helmet signed. And then I had heard that he doesn't sign cards anymore, trading cards, which I got some clarification. He doesn't sign trading cards through the mail anymore. But if you get him, yeah, if you get him in person, he'll sign cards. And I seen some people get some cards signed, so I was like, well, shit, I'm glad I brought some cards. And so yesterday, it's kind of weird how they do the format. So today was the finals, the semis, the last chance qualifiers, all the heat races. Yesterday was qualifying and then head-to-head battles. So he got to do his practice yesterday, and then his first head-to-head battle, he lost, so he was out. He bounced early. Like as soon as his race was over, he changed and everything. So I seen him in the pits. I was waiting on him. And then I thought he bounced, and then lo and behold, he came back out. So it was hit or miss. I didn't think I was going to be able to get him, get his autograph, because there was this lady, and she was talking to him, and apparently her son died, and she swore that like Kyle Busch was the reincarnation of her son. Like she was going through her phone, showing him pictures, and it was like super cringe. That's the face I was making the whole time. And like saying how their mannerisms were the same and everything. And I mean, Kyle, he handled it like a trooper, and he was cool about it. And luckily there was only four of us, including myself, that was waiting on his autograph. But yeah, and he even said like, "Hey, I'm not in a good mood. I don't want to be here. I lost. I just want to leave." So I was like, but I mean, he was cool. A man of very few words, but yeah, all in all, it was fun. And one of the best things about any type of rallying is every ticket is a pit pass. So you can go in the pits and watch everything. I almost got hit by a car, not paying attention. Because the cars, they drive, because you're in the pits, they drive through the paddock, and pretty much it's like a parting of the seas. And yeah, there was a car that wrecked. They were taking it out on a forklift. It was swinging. I damn near got hit in the head by the fender. One of the crew guys pushed me out of the way. So I was FaceTiming my parents, and I'm like, I had the phone. I'm like, check this out, and the car's swinging, and yeah. So, but it was cool. It was fun.
That's just as good a story as getting autographs.
Yeah, and I would be lying if I said that wasn't the first time I almost got hit by a car because I was dicking around and not paying attention to my surroundings. But yeah, and one of the other cool things is the cars since they beat and bang, they have fenders and everything that get replaced. They just get bolted on. So instead of throwing that stuff away, they give it to the fans. So I wasn't able to get my bumper that I want, but hopefully next year. Hopefully next year.
Transportation issues. Didn't have a really. Did you have a way to get it back to the house?
I have a 6 foot bed in my truck.
Oh, there you go. Then yeah, you're covered.
I always carry cargo straps, so I'm when I'm doing 85 down the interstate, it shouldn't fly out. But yeah.
That's good. You're not trying to shove it in like a Honda Civic or something.
Yeah, I'm using it as a spoiler, kind of like the dudes doing Fast and Furious, So yeah, but yeah, it all in all, it was really fun. I don't know if it'll catch on in America. There's been so many different rallying series and rallycross series. And I'll be honest, before I got stationed in England, I didn't care about rally cars and stuff like that. But living over there, where it's really huge, I love it. It's a lot more fun, and it's not as boring as NASCAR because there's they don't have jumps in NASCAR. So yeah. But other than that, it was fun. And then one of the guys, he's sponsored by CBD. He has a CBD sponsorship, and they just had a table of free samples, like hundreds of samples of CBD. And there's kids everywhere, so a kid could be like, "Oh, this packaging looks cool. What's this?" It just blew my mind that there was nobody there to make sure, hey, is this kid over 21? But it was, hey man, CBD for everybody. So,
they just saw gummies and was like, I'm in.
Yeah, man, edibles for everyone. So yeah, little kids running around tripping balls and getting hit by cars. But
that sounds like a good time to me.
yeah. And then today they had PT Cruiser races, so that was pretty fun. Yeah,
I call them PT losers.
Yeah. I remember the episode of what is it, Viva La Bam, that they souped it up.
Way up here.
Yeah, and that's kind of how the rally car shifters are, because they have the steering wheel up here, and then it's like you got the big old handbrake and everything. But yeah, I can't say enough about it. It sucked watching it on TV today because I really wanted to be there because it's just so much fun. And yeah, I love the racetrack, dude. The smells and everything, and the sounds, and people will probably say I'm full of shit, but these cars are actually faster 0 to 60 than F1 cars. So they go 0 to 60 in I think 1.8 seconds. So yeah, it's insane how fast and powerful these supercars are. 600 horsepower. But yeah, man. So
I have no idea.
Yeah, so a lot of racing. Pretty much got everything I wanted to get signed, and yeah, so it was definitely a good time.
Yeah, and it's so funny because you were talking about how like Kyle Busch didn't really draw a crowd, didn't really there weren't a ton of people there or anything, and that's kind of how it was when we went to the wrestling show. Halloween night, Lee Johnson was there, and he signed with AEW, contract to AEW. Cody Rhodes was talking about him last week or the week before on AEW. So bought my ticket in advance. We got there 5 minutes early. I'm thinking it's gonna be packed, and it wasn't at all. And I paid the custom card or whatever. And we get there. I'm looking around, and I see his gimmick table where he's selling signed and he's actually dating a girl that's contracted by AEW, and she wrestles from time to time. And I recognized her, and I was like, "Oh shit, there's Julia Hart." And so I see Lee come from the back area down the side and to the back. And I'm like, "He's about to get swarmed people." I went out and to where we all sit in the crowd and everything. And I was like, I told my wife, I'm gonna go shoot my shot. I'll be right back. and he went behind this like little wall thing, still where people are walking, just like close to the bathroom. And I go around the corner, and he's just like sitting there, leaned up against the table, and people are just walking by him right and left. And I'm like, do they not know who this is? Like, this is Lee freaking Johnson. So I just walked up to him, introduced myself, and asked him to sign the card, and I gave him. He seemed really thrilled and excited about it. He may have threw it away when I walked away. I don't know, but nobody like I thought people were going to be like asking Julia Hart and everything, but she was sitting there back there like this, like and I'm just like, does nobody know who this is?
Yeah. So is that the show you went to last week?
It was Halloween night, yeah.
Yeah. How that was ALW, right?
The one I went to last week was ALW, and then the week before that, where I saw Lee Johnson, was Firestar. I'd never been there before, and three or four of the people that were there that night, they wrestled with ALW, and Marcus Cross and Lee Johnson wrestled that night, and Marcus Cross has been on AEW Dark several times and was actually on AEW Dark 2 days after that. And then, of course, Lee Johnson, he's contracted by AEW. And this coming up Sunday at Firestar, Jay Lethal is going to be there. And he debuted on the pay-per-view last night with AEW and announced that he had just signed with AEW as well, and he's contracted by them. And so I've got a licensed card of his that is in a really popular set. So I'm going to take that next weekend, hoping he'll sign it.
Yeah. Yeah. So two questions. You said it was Firestar.
Mm-hmm.
So how was that promotion?
It was really good. It was at first I was kind of confused when I bought the tickets ahead of time because it just said general admission $20 or a family 4-pack, which is just 4 tickets for 70.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see a front row or general admission option. And so in there you pay $20 and you sit wherever you want to. And it's actually in a shopping center, in a building, and you have on two sides of the ring, you have like 3 rows of chairs, and on the back part of the ring, you have like 4 rows of chairs, and that's it. I mean, it's big for what they've got going on, but the seating area, there's not as much seating as you would think there is, and I was kind of surprised by that, but at the same time, if you've only got 3 or 4 rows and charging $20, sit wherever you want to, it makes sense. But it was actually like super, super official. They had like a production crew. They had like a live commentary. They had it was behind us, not in the front where the wrestlers walk out, but they had a projector of sorts in the back where they would, play like a hype video when the wrestlers were walking out or something like that.
Yeah.
It was like super, super official to be an independent wrestling place that probably doesn't hold more than like 125 people on a packed night.
Yeah. Yeah. And so how was it for to see ALW back?
It was super, super exciting, and I wasn't sure when it was going to happen because the whole building issues and everything, and they're still working that out. So I wasn't sure that they were going to come back this year, but they threw something together. They got a brand new ring, I guess last month maybe, but they haven't put it to use, and they finally put it to use. And seeing a couple of the guys that I hadn't seen in 3 or 4 months since everything got shut down, it was super exciting. I was hype as hell. I was probably the most hype person there. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They booked some really good matches. I got to see a guy named Vince Pacifico. He's been on AEW Dark a couple of times, and I got to see him wrestle. And he won his match before he ever got in the ring. Because if I remember right, he came out to Larger Than Life by the Backstreet Boys, and so he won his match before he ever got in the ring.
Yeah. Yeah. So does ALW have any more shows coming up in the future?
Not that I know of. I know they did say they're going to definitely try to squeeze one in soon. I just don't know what that's going to look like or how that's going to look. So I imagine if they do, it'll probably be back in the Positive Youth Center where they had theirs last weekend.
Mhm. Yeah, and it's coming up on that busy time of the year too with the holidays where, they may not have a lot of free time to try and get something in there. So,
Yeah, exactly. I know that I've already seen a couple of the guys that wrestle around here. They're like, I'm not doing anything for the month of December, spending time with my family. So don't even reach out to me because I'm not going to do it.
yeah. So, we usually talk, fairly regular throughout the week, and you have been mentioning about High Spots has some signings coming up. What is on your radar?
So they haven't listed any cards yet. Thank God. I'm actually hoping that they don't. But Mick Foley's going to be there this week, and Scorpio Sky's there this week too, which I'm kind of hit like take him or leave him. But at the end of this month, they're having FTR from AEW. They wrestled last night at pay per view. Had a freaking awesome match. And then November 30th, they're having Dr. Britt Baker, who is the AEW Women's Champion, and I'm probably gonna go broke on that one. I've already got like money in my PayPal like locked and loaded because they confirmed already that they're gonna have all in cards, which is set that they only made like 1,200 of those sets, and it has like a lot of days like rookie cards in it, like Adam Page that won the AEW championship last night has rookie cards in it. So they've already confirmed that they're going to have signed all in cards available. So I'm going to shoot for at least two, maybe three, because I have the set. I have one of hers unsigned. So thinking about shooting for two or three signed ones, but that just depends on how much I drop on FTR.
So you're not going to try and get the she has a figure too, right?
Yeah, she does. She's got one in
She
the
has two, right? One's a chase figure.
yeah, one is the Unmatched series. They're Unrivaled. They're kind of like the base ones, like you see
Yeah,
back, and then they have the Unmatched ones that are more of a, I guess, like a for to use a term that most people would know is like a short print kind of.
yeah.
And I like the Unmatched figures a lot, but I hate to say it, but they got her likeness pretty terrible on her Unmatched figure. I'm I mean, they could have did a better job. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, yeah. So are you going to try for a figure or just strictly?
Um, Probably not. Their figures are reasonably priced, I'd say, because normally you can get one signed like with a JSA certification, shipped in a hard case for like $75 to $100, depending. But I'm definitely gonna go for the cards because the just her unsigned rookie card, well, not rookie, but the unsigned all in. A couple of them have sold on eBay for like 100. So, and their cards are like $40 a piece across the board.
Yeah. Mm,
And they had Darby Allen signed cards that they threw up like 2 weeks ago that were 40 a piece, and just the unsigned ones go for like 500.
wow, that's insane.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have that, extra unsigned Britt Baker, you could probably flip that to try and, fund the signed versions, help out a little bit. So,
Yeah, I thought about that too. That was kind of my thought process for getting two is if I can spend $80, well, let's say like 87 shipped to be like really technical about it, then I could probably flip one, I'd say for definitely more than $87. And then I've got one signed one and one unsigned one that I really didn't pay anything for.
mhm. So are the sets numbered at all? Like the cards numbered, or they just have a announced print run and that's it?
Yeah, none of them are numbered. It's just the kind of like a known print run kind of thing because
Gotcha.
from my understanding, I could be wrong on this because I'm still like super new to the whole wrestling card world, but I think High Spots licensed the All In set. High Spots had the All In set made basically,
Mhm.
and it's either 1,200 sets per made or 1,500 sets per made. One of the two, I can't exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. Do they have like stats on the back, or are they just?
Actually, like this is Kenny Omega's here,
Uh huh.
and on the back it's got like kind of a glare, but
Yeah.
it's hometown, and their signature maneuver, and at the top it's got what number the card is.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool though. They're oh, excuse me. Little one got me up way too early today. Yeah, they're good looking cards though.
Yeah, and they the set goes on eBay. The last like 3 or 4 sales have been like $350, but you can message High Spots. It's only per person, but you can message High Spots and be like, I want an all in set if you have it available, and they're like, yeah, it's $100, which
Uh,
is an absolute steal considering just the one Brick Baker card sells for $100.
yeah, yeah. I found there was like usually you know how Twitter recommends topics and shit, and usually it's stuff that I don't pay attention to, but they recommended one guy. I actually found it. It was he's making his own cards. The only bad thing is he's one of those DM for price guys. So I was like, I don't know if I want to fool around and even, send this dude a message. But he's making his own ECW cards, and he's been putting on signings and getting them signed, and they look really good. The dude's name is
Is it Corey?
yeah, Corey Bastion.
Yeah, that's it. I actually
So do
have
you,
one.
you do? Okay.
Yeah, Daniel Garcia.
And like I seen that he posted a couple prices, and the prices didn't seem too bad. But are so that's good that you actually have one. So how's the quality of the cards?
Really good considering they're, I say custom made, which they are, and
Yeah,
the everything lines up really well on it. It looks really good, and I don't know if he's making them himself or somebody's making them for him or whatever. But for it to not be like this big, huge Topps Panini operation or whatever, they're actually really good looking. They feel good. They don't really feel cheap, and they're made out with a pretty decent card stock. And that is the first card of that guy that's signed, and it's not licensed or anything, so it's kind of hard to say all this stuff with real validity and how people take it serious. But
yeah,
that's the first signed card that guy has in circulation, and there's only a hundred of them made, and it was $20 shipped.
yeah, yeah. And I like how he put the he has that area on the card for signing. Where the white part in the picture, and like me, I'm like as much as you love AEW, I love ECW, and that's who he has signings with is a bunch of ECW guys, and he has this one of Just Incredible, and then
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen it, but it's the Just Incredible Aldo Montoya card,
Yep.
where and Just Incredible was Aldo Montoya in WWE before he became Just Incredible, but he actually signed it Aldo Montoya, and then one is Just Incredible, and yeah, I think that one's like $20, and it looks it looks really cool, man. It's tough. It's really really tough. It's like being a recovering meth head or something, and somebody's dangling a baggie in front of you. You're like, oh, I don't need it, but I might want it, because I got so much shit that I'm trying to pare down and everything, and then if I jump into this if I jump into the wrestling autograph ring, man, no pun intended, it might not be good, because all these ECW guys, like they're kind of like nobody's to anybody else but me. I'm like, oh my god, Axel Rotten, Blue Meanie, you know, like I gotta
Yeah,
have him.
I don't know if he has any left, but he had some with Sabu.
Yeah, he has a Bill Alfonso and Sabu dual signed card. For people that don't know, Bill Alfonso was Sabu's manager, and then he was their manager for Sabu and Taz when they were a tag team, Sabu and Rob Van Dam when they were a tag team. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I love all those guys, and yeah, I mean they seem pretty reasonably priced too. I guess that's because the ECW guys really weren't paid shit if they were paid at all. So any money to them is good money. So yeah,
Yeah, and I mean, if you sign like let's say they just split everything down the middle, like 10 and 10, then you sign a hundred cards and you get $10 a card. I mean,
that's $1,000 in pretty much 100 autographs. That's probably maybe a half hour tops of your time. So
mhm.
that's not a bad gig at all. But yeah,
It'd almost
yeah,
be stupid not to.
yeah, right, right. But yeah, now that I know you have some cards, it, yeah, I might be, I,
Yeah,
I might be buying some some wrestling autographs
yeah.
here.
He had like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe he had like three or four that he was getting done, and one of them was Eric Bischoff,
Yeah,
and
that's what I was going to mention. The Bischoff card looks really good too.
yeah, and they were only $10 for his, and I mean, granted, it's not licensed or anything
Yeah,
like that, but I mean, at the same time, it's like if you're not like really like us, like reselling, like we have a lot of TTM autographs, and if a TTM autograph might be worth $10, but if you send it to Beckett, kind of like you do, get it authenticated or encapsulated, then you might turn around and sell it for a couple of hundred. But I mean, for $10 for an autograph, and you're not going to sell it, it's real. It's not. You can't go wrong.
yeah, and I want to say Bischoff is a WWE Hall of Famer too, right?
Definitely.
Because he might be one of those two-time inductees. I want to say with himself and then with the NWO, or maybe the NWO is just like the Wolfpack. I'm not sure. I'd have to do
How
more
it works for the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame per.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
I have nothing else left to talk about. So it might be a quick show for us tonight, dude.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Do you have anything coming up? Like any sales? Because I've seen you've been posting some cards. I've been trying to like and retweet.
Yeah, I sold a large flat rate box. It was literally every single sports card that I had. And so I sold that, and then of course Mosaic comes out, and Mosaic product is my absolute favorite product of any line baseball or football.
Yeah,
And so I went to Walmart, and usually here on the East Coast, we don't like stuff starts showing up 2 weeks before we get it here. And so I went into Walmart, and I always check the card section, but mainly the top loaders, which I found for once. And then there was the Mosaic Baseball Blasters and Mega. And the Blasters were ringing up 37.98, and the Megas, which are guaranteed one per average, were 49.99. So why would you just not pay that for like 16, $17 and get a guaranteed? And
yeah,
so I bought one of those, got the Jesus Sanchez
yeah.
auto, and that took a pretty decent put a pretty decent hole in my high spot fund. So it is what it is.
Yeah, here the Walmart it got remodeled and the card section that got all taken out for the self checkout stuff. So they put in like 30 self checkout registers at the Walmart here. So I don't even know where the card section is anymore. So I I don't even know where to go look to even see if they have cards. I've heard of some that they keep them at customer service or the tobacco aisle, but I haven't seen anything in the Walmart here as far as cards. So I just been rocking the Walgreens repacks, and that makes me happy. I bought a few of those boxes, the ones that have Juan Soto on them, and where you get like a uh, a card in a top loader, and then X amount of packs, and then I think I ended up getting one of the boxes that were uh, searched. The packs were searched because some of the cards looked a little wonky. They were all the correct year, but yeah, it's just it seemed a little off. But
Yeah,
I'm not expecting to get a Soto. I'm just trying to get base cards of guys that I could hopefully possibly see during spring training next year, so I can just try and get them signed. So because
definitely.
I'm trying to, I'm more of a collector than an investor. So I wasn't, like, oh man, I paid $10 for this and I got $3 worth of cards. This is horse shit, you know. So I was like, the more base cards, the better. Give them to me, and hopefully all the guys are still alive. You know. So yeah,
Oh yeah,
all right. I was all right. So yeah, I'm happy with my Walgreens repacks. But now
can't
I
can't go
went
wrong.
yeah, I went today and they were all gone. All the baseball was gone. So, but yeah, but you got any interviews coming up? You just did. Oh yeah, you just did an interview too, right? Last week.
Yeah, with Luke Fury, he wrestles around here with ALW and a couple of other places. He's only 15, so it's really hard for him to get booked places, not being
I,
18, over
yeah,
18.
I was going to say, yeah, that kid's really young, isn't he? Like 17. I didn't realize he's only 15. Jeez, man, that is insane. So 15. He is he even in high school yet?
Yeah, yeah, he is. He is in high school, and we talked about that a little bit on camera and off camera about how he just gets absolutely just like roasted at school for being a wrestler, and it's just, I mean, it sucks. It's sad to see because he's 15 years old, doing what he loves to do, and he's making
Yeah.
money at it. He's putting his body on the line at 15. Could very well, ruin the rest of his life by the time he's 16 and one wrong move, and so it's kind of sad to see, in the reality of it.
Yeah, and like the kids that are making fun of him, like his job is his dream. So the people that are making fun of him are like working at fucking Starbucks or Checkers. Is that what you want to do with the rest of your life? Make it up to manager of fucking Steak and Shake, and you're this dude's balls. Like he's already figured out what he wants to do for the rest of his life, and he's got a head start on it at 15. So what's your excuse? To the
Exactly.
like, come on.
The chances of you injuring yourself stocking, salads and potatoes in the produce aisle is a lot less likely than you injuring yourself in a wrestling ring.
Yeah, right. Like you're going to become a professional cart pusher at Kroger. Like, so, yeah, yeah, but
I'm a professional cart pusher, so if you want to book me at your Walmart or Kmart or Bucky's or whatever, have them
yeah.
hit me up DMs. No.
Here we go. Thank you for tuning in, by the way, too. Yeah. Maybe there's
Out
a
there.
cart pushing league, a professional cart pushing league. That'd be pretty good, right?
That would probably be the only thing in the world I could ever become a professional at. And probably would still suck at that too.
Yeah, I don't know though. You get a cart to the back of the ankle. That's like stepping on a Lego type pain, and then hit your head, and you're on the IL. So
And then the next thing you know, you're out with Tommy neck John surgery or something.
yep, and then you get hooked on the painkillers, man. So
God,
yeah,
you just put that down a really weird hole.
but
I'm a
that we
fan
should Yeah, we should end it on a high spot though. But
Absolutely.
do you have any other interviews coming up?
I've got like 3 or 4 I'm working on, but, obviously they're busy. They all have real jobs and they train and they do shows, and I just work. I don't do any of that extra stuff. So it's kind of trying to work the schedules out. So got like 3 or 4 I'm working on. Can't say that it will happen. Can't say that it won't happen. So hopefully I can work something out though.
Walmart claims you off waivers. I mean, that would be that'd be like a good thing to get claimed off waivers by Walmart, man. You might have to start down at the bottom, like Dollar Tree or something, and work your way back up to the show, So maybe.
And
Yeah.
and then pray to God they don't have the electric cart pushers like they have here.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Those dudes struggle, man, with their bungee cords and then I'm the
Yep.
asshole waiting on them, beeping the horn, hurry up so I can leave because now you've blocked me. You have your giant shopping cart centipede in the middle of the parking lot that I cannot get through. So, yeah.
To be fair though,
To be fair,
all of us here on that hobby show, we love and support cart pushers.
yeah, man. If they're, you know what, if you're a professional cart pusher out there, I want you on the show because, when we had LaRon Bennett on there, professional hurdler, people would think, how many questions could you ask a professional hurdler? That show was like over an hour, so we could definitely fill up 45 minutes with a professional cart pusher.
We
So,
could. Cart
yeah.
pushers welcome.
Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, and they can tell us how those yellow lines actually work in the parking lot where it says do not take the cart over this yellow line or it will not work anymore. I don't know if you've seen those. Usually they're at Target's, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so they can let us know what's up with that. But thank you everyone in the chats and everyone that is tuned in and will be tuning in for the replay. I appreciate you all tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we'll have some more fun stuff to talk about. And yeah, thanks everyone.